Welcome back, everyone. This is going to be entertaining. We have a lot of earnings to cover today. Boy, yeah, we've got a lot. So AMD comes out at 4:15 p.m. We've got Google at between 4 to 4:05 p.m. So we'll see what range we'll get those. But again, AMD 4:15 p.m. Then we're looking for Snapchat at 4:10 p.m. So then we've got Chipotle is also at 4:10 p.m. Then we have Visa. Visa, by the way, announcing some layoffs today. Did you see that? What they announced, I think it was 1,400 layoffs. Let me take a look here. 3 minutes to go until the bell. Yeah, 1,400 employees. That's by the end of the year, which they've got about 30,000. So what is that, like 4%? Yeah, 4.6%. 1,400 layoffs by end of year, 4.6%. It's quite a bit. You know, this is how companies. I mean, you've heard me say it before. I don't want to sound like a broken record. You know, this is how companies are going to start showing growth, is just by laying people off. And, you know, they're just going to look at it from I hate to say it, but a little bit of a selfish point of view, because it's sort of like, we can't grow earnings any other way, so let's just lay some people off. Reddit also reports earnings today, which, gosh, I can't even think of the last time I've been on Reddit for more than 5 minutes. But that comes out at 4 p.m. Obviously, you know, we know they went public, but beyond that, I haven't watched that one ever. Yeah, Caesars Entertainment. You know, Las Vegas Sands wasn't too good. So, Cheesecake Factory comes out today. Okay, Cheesecake Factory, 4:15 p.m. And then I may as well write it down, Caesars, just because you do get a little bit of look on the consumers. But a lot of it can really be weighed by what's going on in Macau, especially with like hopium over Chinese stimulus and all that kind of stuff. You know, we'll see. Somebody here says, I just got my layoff notice. I'm so sorry to hear that. What field were you in? Seriously, sorry to hear that. Z-Pack says, just want to say thank you for your commitment to your followers, freedom of your opinion, and your power to always be yourself. Oh, well, thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Somebody here says, bought some AMD, 36 time is the charm. Oh, let's go. Sweet Cheesecake Factory, prefer Texas Roadhouse. No, that stock has absolutely been killing it. So anyway, let's take a look at the market as we go into the close here. You've got NVIDIA up about 0.5%. Thank you. Okay, yeah, that's a manly cup today, Lauren's handing me. Look at that. Yeah. Thank you. Could you close both doors? Yeah. Thanks. Anyway, Crocs, look at this, down 19.28%. Pretty rough on that flat growth forecast. DR Horton was down as much as 13%, now only down about 7%, so a bit of a recovery there. PayPal sitting down 4%, SoFi's down 6 and a bit. Bitcoin's over 72,000, though getting rejected there at about 73.6. I don't have a line there, so I don't really know what's going on there. So we'll see. Oh my gosh, TLT went positive. That's remarkable. It's not supposed to. It's just supposed to plummet. But whatever. Anyway, all right, let's get the bell.
To that S&P 500 earnings expectation. All right, well, we'll get all of that, obviously, in overtime. That report, NASDAQ's going to go out with a new closing high today, leading into that pivotal report, which happens in moments, into overtime with Morgan.
Well, that's the end of regulation. Peralta ringing the close.
There it is. Let's go ahead and just, I'm just going to pull up Goog, and then we're sort of just going to watch it to see if we get any kind of move here. They're just saying breaking news, earnings are coming up. Duh. But they're not actually out yet. Google's not out yet. Reddit's not out yet. First Solar is not out yet. Ooh, this always gets so exciting. I may as well just pull up Snap and get CMG ready as well. Chipotle Mexican Grill. Too bad they didn't have the ticker CHIP. I don't know. Maybe they wanted it. Somebody else probably had that. Then Visa earnings coming out. Let's find out what's going on over here. And then Cake and Caesars. CZR. more. CZ Entertainment. There we go. Okay. So Reddit's still not out. Google not out. First Solar not out. Snapchat not out. Chipotle not out. Visa plans to lay off 400. We already saw that. Cheesecake Factory working on that. CZR. Make sure I got that one up. Okay, there we go. And then, okay, Caesars comes out. Net revenue 2.9 billion. They had an estimate that was slightly higher. They're calling it a match of estimates. It doesn't seem like it's making any kind of massive move here in the after. Oh, there it goes. Okay, yeah. So with a match of estimate comes down. That came out early. So matches estimate on adjusted EBITDA. Stock down 5% at 4:01 p.m. Okay. Let's see how that sort of expands. Reddit not out yet. Google not out yet. First Solar comes out. First Solar misses. Miss on First Solar. You have 50.2 million versus the 50.5 estimate. You have operating income. Ouch. That came in low. 322 mil versus 361.9. That's margin compression right there. I mean, that's a big old miss. That's a miss of divide. Oh, that's about 11%. 11% miss. Forecast EPS of 13.25 midpoint misses by 11 cents. Okay, 11 divided by 13.25 is, what is that, a miss of? Like, just about 1%. Roughly 1% miss on EPS forecast. Okay, Reddit's not out. Google comes out. Here we go. Google beats. Google is a beat. Google's up now 4.8%. Look at that. Google comes in with cloud revenue. Ooh, nice beat on cloud. Cloud beats 11.35 billion versus 10.79 bill. So what is that? 11.35 divided by 10.79. That's a 5.1% beat on cloud. Wow, nice. YouTube ads basically match. Basically meet expectations at 8.92 billion. You have EPS. Whoa, look at that EPS beat. $2.12 versus the estimate of $1.84. 212 divided by 184. That's a 15.2% beat. My gosh, that's actually really good. So ad revenue, kind of flattish here. Ad rev of 65.85 in total beats by just 65.85 divided by 65.5. 0.5%, 50 basis points low. So a little awkward there on why ad rev came in that low, but it is good that cloud came in as high as it did. So that's pretty good. Let's see here. Reddit's not out yet. First Solar still dropping down as much as 6.9% now. Ooh, so 4:04 p.m. First Solar down 6.9%. Then you've got First Solar CapEx, reduced CapEx as well. Reduced CapEx and op in forecasts. Okay. Snapchat not out yet. Visa not out yet. Chipotle not out yet. Caesar's still down about 5%. Google, and I'm waiting for a little bit more here on Reddit, but what do we have on Google? CMG's not out yet. I'm watching it though, and I'm just gonna get a little more on Google here. So YouTube ads, sub revenue exceeded 50 billion for Qs. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's nothing. That's nothing. Okay, I'm trying to get some more here. Operating income. Operating income was an excellent beat as well at Google. Honestly, these are fantastic numbers from Google, I have to say. Like, the fact that the stock is not up more than 2.5% seems very stupid to me. This is a fantastic report from Google. So I don't know what the expectation here is. I don't have a forecast yet, so maybe there's some kind of comment on forecast, but I don't actually see that yet. But let me look at op Inc. Came in at 28.52 billion versus the 26.67 billion Estimate, that is a beat of 6.9%. Okay. Reddit, still not out yet. Chipotle is still not out yet. Let me see what's going on here with First Solar. First Solar's trying to recover a little bit. How are some of the AI plays moving? Nvidia, AMD, CMG. AMD had a little run today. Cake. There we go. Alright, so we'll keep an eye on these. Here's Chipotle, waiting for those numbers to come out. They are not out yet. Snapchat is another one. Let's pull that one up. Yeah, good. I will say, just honestly, good beat by Google. I'm very impressed. When we'll go through the document in just a moment here, as we get some of these other earnings coming in, which should be out in just a moment. But yeah, this should be much higher. I don't know why it even got sell pressure at all, but we shall see. No Reddit yet. Let's see here. Waiting. Visa comes in with a beat. Okay, Visa comes in with, what do we have here? EPS of 265, EPS versus 257. Adjusted EPS is 271 versus 258 expected. Transactions match estimates at 61.5 billion. Do you imagine being a company that processes $61.5 billion of payments? Kind of crazy, actually. Okay. So, yeah, I don't understand the softness here on the movement on Google, unless there's just sort of like some pricing that people have expected. But I'll pull up the investor relations piece on Google because I think it's fantastic. So let's see what we got here. Q3. In the meantime, I'm watching for Chipotle next. And let's see here. So Alphabet announces third quarter results. Okie dokie. So let's see what we have here. Today announced results for September 30th, quarter ending there. Consolidated revenue increased 15-16%. That's fine. Services increased 13%. Good. Cloud grew 35%. It's fantastic. Total operating income grew 34%. And the company's just absolutely crushing it. Momentum across the company is extraordinary. Our commitment to innovation, long-term focus on AI, are paying off with customers, and we're benefiting from our AI tools and search. Our new AI features expanded what people can search for. That is true. They've now incorporated AI straight into Google, which, like when you go to google.com, you see it right away. Honestly, I think it's brilliant. It's really smart. Just absolutely smart. Like, why, sometimes you don't even have to go to like a GPT anymore because you just do it in Google. It's great. Yeah, YouTube ads. Okay. What else here? Revenues up 15% year over year. Constant currency 16%. So basically the same thing. Operating income operating margin 32%. That's a 4% margin expansion. That's really good. Google Cloud exploded. Still a small portion of the business. Maybe that's what's weighing them down a little bit, is like the advertising segment isn't growing anywhere near as fast. But I mean, that should be pretty obvious. It's an older portion of the company, so it doesn't seem like it's something that should be. Chipotle misses. Whoa! Oh my gosh! Look at that candlestick.
Lost the lead.
Oh. Let me do that again.
The House of
Don't buy. Don't buy.
Chipotle misses estimates pretty badly here, apparently, based on that movement. So the operating margin actually beat, but where did they miss? Let's see what was the miss. Let me try to understand what's going on. Chipotle shares fall as Q3 comp sales miss. Oh, that's such a minor miss. What a minor miss. 6%, let's see, on comp sales versus 6.38% expected. What does that work out to? Like a 6% decline? 6.38 divided by 6. Sorry, 6 divided by 6.38. New number divided by low. It's a 6% decline. Oh, look, there it goes, going up. The volatility, this is why you don't play earnings. So 6% on comp sales, and a 6% miss, to be clear. But it's confusing because they missed by 6%, but comp sales also came in at positive 6%. So it's sort of all over the place. Okay, what's the forecast? Comp sales growth mid to high single digits. Okay, so mid to high single digits, that's kind of where they are now. Forecast mid to high single digits. Restaurant expansion just missed. 25 restaurant expansion, 315 to 345. Expectation was 358.3. I'm not sure how you could have 0.3 of a store. It's probably just because it's the average of, multiple different estimates. But the difference there would be 330 midpoint. It's about a 7.9% miss on new stores. 7.9% miss on new stores. You do have a beat on margin. So as usual, they're reducing those portion sizes, so they're kicking butt on margin. At least that's my experience when I go there. I'm like, come on, man, it's feeling smaller and smaller every time I go. 16.9% op margin versus 15.7. That's a beat, obviously. That's really good. So margin beat, adjusted EPS beat by 2 cents at 27 cents. Board authorizes $900 million buyback. And they missed on comp sales and restaurant expansion. Well, I mean, if they put that money, instead of into buybacks, into restaurant expansion, maybe they'd have better forecast. Oh, don't say that, Kevin. That's mean. I mean, hey, whatever. I'm not running the company. So, Caesars, what do we got here? Caesars, only down about 1.7 now. First Solar's dragging a little bit. AMD is obviously a big one coming out in about 2 minutes here. Caesars has recovered a bit. Cheesecake is still not out. What about Snap? Do we get Snap? Oh yeah, here we go. Snapchat's out. Okay, what happened with this one? So, slower holiday advertising sales. Uh-oh, here we go. Q3 rev roughly match. Q3 daily active users, 443 million versus 441.16 million expected, beat. And then Q4 rev to be, that's a miss of about 0.25. What is that, a miss of about? 1.51 plus 2.5. That's a miss of, oh, good lord. Plus, what do we got here? 4, 5, 2, 1.535 divided by 1.56. I only missed by about 1.6%. 1.6 miss on revenue forecast. I mean, that's nominal, so that's not a big deal. Then you have, yeah, so Snap's up. Interesting. Okay. And then, what's going on? Where's AMD? AMD is going to be next here. And then I want to keep, we're actually going to go through some of these statements. So AMD's on deck. And we'll see what happens here in just a moment. So AMD. Uh-oh. I have no report yet of anything here posting. But who knows? Maybe people have faster things than me. But AMD is dropping right now. Here it is. Revenue beats slightly. Adjusted EPS matches. Operating income tiny beat. Operating margin misses. It's kind of a match of estimates is what they're calling it. So they're calling it a match. Okay, I don't have a forecast yet. So let's see here. Don't see forecast. They say there's an insatiable demand for more compute. Okay. Match on AEPS, 92 cents. Oh, forecast. Forecast is 0.6 plus 3. Slight miss. It is a miss on forecast of 0.66%. So 66 basis point miss on forecast. That's why it's dropping. That's crazy. So a 0.66% miss on forecast. And the stock's down 4%. 4% on that. Although it was up like 4% today. So you really just gave back what they had. Forecast for Q4. Hold on. For Q4. And then you have... let's see here. Q4 margin misses by 20 basis points. These are tiny misses. Tiny misses here. So, I really like what I saw from Google, honestly. Surprised it's not moving more on this. Snapchat, I don't know if it's just like oversold or something and running on this, but I didn't think that these reports were actually like, oh wait, Q3 adjusted EBITDA beat pretty nicely. Yeah, I mean, they had an extra $40 million of adjusted EBITDA there, so I don't know how they pulled off that adjustment, but, and they're also authorizing a $500 million buyback. Okay, well, I mean, that could be part of it. Buyback and $40 million beat on EBITDA. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. So, as far as, let me go back to Visa for a second. Visa tells us they expect the next quarter, which is the holiday season, to be high single digit to low double digit net revenue growth. That's revenue growth. Okay. Next Q forecast high single to low double digit rev growth. Rev growth, what about transaction volume? Payment volumes. They don't really provide that. I mean, you assume that means also that their forecast would go up for payment volumes, but I don't know. You know what assuming does. So, okay, yeah, Visa's up a little bit on that. So that's Visa. Did we get cake yet? Cheesecake! It actually beats. So, Cheesecake beats with a 10-cent extra EPS at 58 cents, and comp sales at 1.6%, positive 1.6%, versus 1.03% expected. So that's good. Actually getting a little bit more growth than expected there. So I'm going to close out Cheesecake. I'm going to close out Caesars. There's nothing really new there. AMD forecast falls short, suggesting slower AI growth. Well, that's a crap headline. AMD forecast falls short, suggesting a slower pace of AI growth. Doomer headline. I'm literally going to call it that. Doomer headline. Okay. Well, I mean, they missed 20 basis points on margin and 66 basis points on Q4 forecast, but still, I mean, it's kind of minor. Chipotle. I don't know if we're going to... Okay, well, we're going to go to their statements in just a moment. That's fine. Okay, nothing new there. Nothing... First Solar hasn't given me any updates in a while. Google... No real updates there. And then you have... Let's see here. Visa. We got... Oh, wow! Reddit! Reddit up 22%. Holy moly. Look at this. Oh, 18% right now. Dang, brother. So what happened here at Reddit? Like I said, I don't really pay attention to Reddit, so I don't really know what's going on over there, but let's see what they got. So they got average revenue per user at $5.88 for Q3. So anybody who uses Reddit, you earn them about $5.88 in a 3-month period. That's actually pretty impressive. Net income of $29.9 million versus an estimated loss of 13.8 mil. So people thought they were going to lose money, and they actually beat. Daily active users came in at 48.2 mil. Q4 revenue forecast beats at 392 mil versus 356.2 mil expected. That's pretty good. So if I go 392 divided by this, so that's about a 10% beat. That's good. 10% beat. Okay. Wow. Reddit signals strong holiday quarter to come. Daily active users? No. I don't know much about Reddit. Daily active users, US daily active users, 48.2. Oh, that's in the US. In US, total daily active users, 97.2 mil versus the 96.36 mil expected. Wow, that's pretty good. And ARPU, they call it. Average revenue per user. Pretty good. Okay. So now we're going to look at... Well, we'll watch these sticks here, and now I'm going to look at just briefly some of the important takeaways. Obviously, we don't have the sheets yet, the earnings transcripts from these companies yet, but that's okay. That's understandable. So we're just going to hop into this for a moment. This is a really great place of growth over here, which is fantastic for Google. But keep in mind, out of their revenue, they are still looking at 268, about 12.8% of Google rev comes from cloud. I like how they labeled this section "Other Bets." I actually think that's pretty badass. I like that. Yeah, those are just other bets. Damn. And their other bets are like in hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah, that's our rounding error. Okay. Different worlds. So, but Google Cloud is bigger than YouTube, and YouTube's got some nice growth there. And Google Search, damn, that's pretty nice. Still over, what is that? Over 10% growth right there. That's pretty impressive. And Reddit's mooning right now. It's up like 24%. So really, really cool. Let's see. Okay. What else do we have? Okay. There we go. Okay. So then let's see here. Segment results. Gemini app team working directly with Google DeepMind, bloody, whatever. Operating income versus losses. Other bets lose them money. Oops. Google Cloud. Google Cloud's got some nice operating income. So do the Google services. That's nice. Hedging gains and losses were negative $1 million and positive 17 million. Okay. So we got some hedging. All right. Dividend program, whatever. What do we got here? I mean, I'm not going to look at the balance sheet for Google. Not right now. I think I'm just going to bore us all. We know they have lots of money. So this is just overall spend. We can see research and development, what is that, up a little more than 10%. Sales and marketing's not up that much, less than 10%. Cost of revenues are up about 10%. But honestly, their revenue growth is phenomenal. It's just really, really good. I mean, revenue growth for the quarter year over year is up almost $12 billion. It's remarkable. Net income's up like 20%. EPS is up. This is a fantastic report. I love this. Like, I kind of hope this stock goes red tomorrow so I can like buy the dip on it. This is a very, I mean, we'll see what the actual earnings call says, but this is the kind of thing I like. I like seeing this. This is very nice. Net cash provided by operating activity, all of it. Obviously we got some capex, but they still have a ton of free cash flow of over $17 billion. This is very nice. I don't think we have any other kind of sort of comments. Do we? Did they give us forecasts? Let's see here. I don't actually know if they gave us a forecast. Maybe people are waiting for that. Dividend segment. Because a forecast would be nice, but I don't actually think they gave us a forecast. Hold on. No. No forecast. But I think that's normal for Google. No forecast in report. Wait for earnings call. I'll write down. Okay. No, there's no forecast. Okay. So let's just save that to my spot. Okay. That's pretty good. And then I'm going to look at AMD now. AMD Investor Relations. Let's see what we got. Google doesn't typically give forecasts. Yeah, that's possibly true. I can't remember which companies do or don't. If they give it, great. If they don't, they don't. It's the way I look at it. I don't trade in the after hours, so it doesn't make a difference. Somebody says the market is topping and is expensive. Well, I mean, yeah, there's no doubt that the market is ridiculously expensive. But, hey, whatever. It gives people an opportunity to diversify if they want. Okay, so let's download this. AMD Investor Relations Report. Like, if you haven't yet seen the house hack offering, go to househack.com. Dang it, I said I wasn't going to pitch anything. Oh, well, I did it anyway. This video is not a solicitation, but that is a very good offer in my opinion. I did it. Whatever. All right, AMD. What do we got here? AMD's down about 5%. Chipotle's still down about 6. And let's see what we have here. Okay, let's see here. We delivered strong results. Looking forward, we see significant growth opportunities. Okay. Then why are you forecasting lower? So let's see here. Yes, things are up. We know. Okay. New processors. Okay. New details of our next gen AMD accelerators planned for launch in 2025 and 2026. That's fine. Mobile processors, AI PCs. I don't think AI PCs are actually like selling like hotcakes like people thought they would. But I don't know. Maybe that's not a surprise. Yeah, First Solar earnings came out a while ago. We covered that a while ago. They were down 6.9%, bro. Okay. What else we got here? AMD announced it acquired ZT Systems, the leading provider of general-purpose compute infrastructure. Yeah, I covered that before. AMD completed its acquisition of Silo AI. Covered that as well. They got basically a bunch of engineers, is what it seemed like. I didn't actually think they got IP on that. Here's the outlook. Expects revenue to be $7.5 billion, plus or minus $300 million. This represents year-over-year growth of about 22% at the midpoint range, and sequential growth of 10%. Apparently, it's worth noting, apparently, the market doesn't think that's enough. Market not satisfied by this growth rate, apparently. Oh, what was their EPS? Because I remember we were looking at that this morning. In the course member live stream, we were doing some fundies here. No, the expectation was 92 cents per share, and it came in at 92 cents per share. Okay. It's just the forecast that they got hit on. Yeah. My takeaway this morning was just that they needed to show a really big boost in EPS to actually get to their annual goal. And I wasn't like, I am screamingly optimistic here. I'm like, oh, no, thanks. But I wasn't going to make a bet either way, and I didn't. So let's see here. Net revs did pop up. Profit, nice pop up. Margins, good. This is all, I mean, this is fine. You got $724 million of income. You're taking 771 to the bottom line. This is for the 3 months ended. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? This is it's just a slowdown in growth the market is not rewarding, or the market's perverse expectations that growth needs to be so crazy all the time, which I always get nervous about. But that's why you see valuations. I mean, they had $500 million of free cash flow in the quarter, dude. You know, this is a solid company. Data center growth. Yep, you got data center growth. I've got client growth. I do not have gaming growth. I mean, but then again, when is AMD really known for gaming? I don't. I mean, I'm on an NVIDIA chip right here on this computer. What am I on? Let me see. How do I do that again? Device manager? I feel like we've done this before. I can never remember this crap. Display adapters. Oh yeah, see, 4090. So like, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, but got my NVIDIA. Embedded. We got growth in embedded and other. We don't really have anything here. CapEx, nominal. Yeah. Okay. So this is fine. It's just, again, perverse stock market expectations. But the other thing too is the stock literally ran 4% today. So, you know, who cares? The question is it sort of like, you know, going to make people nervous about growth going forward or whatever? I mean, it's all going to, you're missing a Dell computer. Steve just spawns in at the craziest times. I'll tell you though, his rocks have gone up in value a lot, you know. These are very impressive. What's gold at now? Let's see here. Gold. Jeez, it's almost at $2,800, bro. It's nice. Shiny. Polish your gold. All right. So somebody here says, I totally regret getting an AMD graphics card. I've had so many problems with it. However, the CPUs are brilliant. Nice. So thank you as always. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, totally. Oh, they make the Xbox Series chips? I didn't know that. That's really cool. Consoles and Xboxes all AMD. I did not know that. But, you know, you haven't really had, like, a good console refresh cycle, I feel like, you know? Like, when are we going to get some... Well, we need, like, the next Splinter Cell. You know, that's what it is. I looked up when the next Luigi's Mansion comes out, and some website said 2030, and I'm like, bro, I'm in 2024. What is this? Okay, I could have another 7 children by then. Anyway, okay. So here's a little bit. So we just covered AMD earnings. We just cover, obviously, we're going to have the earnings calls for all these companies in just a moment. But I guess we may as well just do sort of a quick summary on some of these. But I do want to quickly look at some more commentary from El Sudis before we do that. And then we'll do a summary. Suits. All right, let's see here. AMD. So, nothing else really there on AMD. Okay, what about Meta? Somebody says they're going up. Yeah, they are. Look at that, back to 600. It's probably just on Google's cloud movement there, which is really impressive. And then you got Cheesecake moving up nicely as well. And then you have Tesla's unfortunately under that 260 level, which is not the most ideal level for Tesla to be under. Look at it just sit under VWAP basically all day long. And yeah, you've got a little bit of a rotation now down in Bitcoin following this. So yeah, who knows? Well, obviously we'll get some more color from the actual earnings calls. So then I'm going to, let's see here. All right, give you all a little bit of a summary here. Okay. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Somebody says Snap is confused. Oh, yeah. All right. Microsoft, let me see what day they report. I don't think they're today. I thought they were like Thursday or something like that, but I'll find out really quickly for you. Today's the 29th, and Microsoft reports... Oh, tomorrow. Microsoft is tomorrow. Yep. So, okay. Here we go. Test? Yeah, we're good. Well, we just got earnings, and here's a quick rundown of everything that you need to know before we get into all the details of the earnings calls. Here you go. First of all, watch Reddit. Reddit, this thing, just came in with a crazy surprise. I mean, it is up 17% right now in after hours. This is going to skyrocket this to all-time highs. We've never been at this level before for Reddit. Reddit comes in with average revenue per user of $5.88 per quarter, which means if you use Reddit every quarter, you are somehow earning this company $5.88. And they've got like 48.2 million daily active users in the United States. They've got 97.2 million active users worldwide. And this company was not expected to be profitable until next year. So they were expected to have a $13.8 million loss. They actually came in with a gain here of $29.9 million, which is actually really, really incredible. If you consider the net income they're expected to have next year of about $226 million, that's net income, bottom line. They're expected to be at about $1 a share for EPS. It still puts their valuation pretty dang rich up there because, you're looking at now basically a $95 stock selling for a 95 PE ratio, but their revenue could also double over the next, it's expected to go up 86% in 26, another 90% in 2027, and 23% in 2028. So maybe it's a growth story. Might be a little early to tell, though, how their actual earnings look and how sustainable that could be. Because sometimes when they take adjusted EPS and they're like, oh yeah, all of a sudden we're profitable, sometimes there could be kind of gamesmanships going on in there. I'm not trying to sound jaded on Reddit, but I mean, hey, we'll just take a quick look at their financials. Well, their revenue exploded. So, I mean, they're pulling this cat, bunny out of a hat or whatever you want to call it somehow. I mean, look at the 9 months ended. You went from 554 million to 872 million. You went from the quarter ended from 207 to 348. This is a great boost of revenue. Now, you did boost your sales and marketing, but, I mean, you almost doubled your revenue, and your sales and marketing are up like 50%. So you have this positive operating leverage. You are spending more money on research and development, but, I mean, you're still making money. You're bringing money to the bottom line now. So a lot of people pretty excited about what's going on over at Reddit. They do have, at the moment, it looks like you've got free cash flow, which is great. They did sell some crypto. How dare they sell? They paper-handed some crypto. So it looks like they sold about, what do we got here? This looks like thousands, million, about $7 million worth of crypto. And if I jump into their balance sheet for a moment, I see assets of about $2 billion, and I see total liabilities of $194 million. This company is like cash rich. So honestly, good job, Reddit. This is really impressive. I don't use the product. I don't know much about it, but you know what? Good for them. Then you got AMD, and Lisa Su says that there's insatiable demand for more compute. They matched on earnings per share on an adjusted basis. However, their Q4 forecast was down by just 66 basis points. Just to reiterate what that means for a moment, that means they were down 0.66% on the forecast, and then their stock fell 4%, and then their forecast margin fell by 20 basis points, and then you started getting the doomer headlines. AMD forecast falls short, suggesting a slower pace of AI growth. And now the stock's down. I mean, I'm watching it right here. It's down, 7%. It's only taking NVIDIA down like 0.25% with it, so it's pretty nominal for NVIDIA, but you get a little bit of a bleed here. In fairness, the stock was up 4% today, and it's kind of been rallying going into this, so maybe it's not that big of a deal. And quite frankly, they're still growing pretty well, because when you actually look at their earnings statement, which is right here, you can see that they're expecting to see year-over-year growth of 22%, and 10% quarter, like sequential growth, which means from last quarter to this quarter, still 10%. That's really, really good. So, I don't actually see this as bad. I actually think this is just good. The problem is when you get markets that are at sort of all-time highs and they have lofty expectations, you kind of think you just keep growing forever. But then the law of large numbers catch up and it's sort of like reality sets in and you're like, oh yeah, that's right. We can't really do that forever. Now, one company that I think really crushed it here that I think should be up way higher than this. So I have no exposure to the stock right now. I wish I did after this. It's up 4.2%, but I don't. And it's Google. So Google beat on cloud by 5.1%. YouTube basically matched expectations, but their earnings per share were up 15.2%. Ad revenue beat by about 50 basis points, which is really low. I think the reason the stock isn't up more, though, is because ad revenue is the vast majority of this business. Just a fraction of the business is cloud. We'll look at the statement in just a moment. And a lot of people are saying they don't give forecasts. I don't have a forecast or anything from them, so, who knows. But at least for the quarter ended in September, they killed it. I mean, just look at the statement for a moment. Google services up 13%, cloud up 35%, total operating income up 34%. And I'm a Google Cloud customer, and frankly, they keep introducing new AI products, and they keep wanting to charge more and more for them for enterprise AI products. And I feel like I keep giving them more and more money. So maybe I should have been my own indicator. Sometimes I feel like I should just listen to myself. But anyway, it's worth noting that 12.8% of Google revenue comes from cloud. Most of their revenue comes from like YouTube and network and Google search. And I will say the AI built directly into Google search is pretty amazing. It's a very, very smart integration of artificial intelligence. I love it. I think it's very useful, and I'm a big fan. So shout out to Google here. I think they did a fantastic job. I read through a little bit of their statement here, and I think they have very, very reasonable operating leverage increases here. Their margins are moving up. They've got over $16 billion of free cash flow. And this is just $17.6 billion. This is just a fantastic company. So big fan here. Google, just tried and true. I mean, it feels like a great company. So great job, Google. I don't really have anything bad to say here. We'll see what happens in the earnings. Next one to mention is, since I haven't yet, HouseHack has a really cool offering in case you want to invest in HouseHack. And then we're going to talk Snapchat and Chipotle. We've got a pretty awesome offer, so if you want to learn about that, go over to househack.com. You get all the upside in the stock, once we go public or get a valuation in the future. But in the meantime, you lock in a 5% distribution on an annual basis that we pay out to you monthly. Learn about that over at househack.com. There's a whole video and presentation, disclosures, and a PPM, so make sure to read all that stuff. Okay, so Snapchat came in with an alert that there might be slower holiday advertising sales, which is interesting because it's kind of also what UPS warned, that there might be sort of a tempered outlook for this holiday season. The stock still went up about 4%, and their Q3 basically matched expectations, but they're also doing a $500 million buyback, so that could be what you're getting there. Then you had Chipotle. So Chipotle missed. They did authorize a $900 million buyback, but they missed about 1.6% on their revenue forecast, and they missed by about 7.9% on new stores, and they missed on comp sales by about 6%. All of those were sort of enough to maybe tell the market, like, hey, the Chipotle valuation's a little on the rich side. Maybe we don't want to be paying this much money for this sort of stock. And so, I mean, it's still, it's closed at like $60 today. And it's only down 5%. Like, big deal. It's still, pretty remarkable in terms of where its pricing is. But, I mean, consider this is a company that's selling for a 55 times, multiple. And you've got a projected growth of maybe 18% over the next 4 years on average. So, when you divide that out, that's 55 divided by 18. You're trading for a 3 peg for a company that's giving you rice and beans. It's a little rich, but their margins are great. Operating margin at 16.9% beat the 15.7% expectation. I gotta give it to us. Pretty damn good. First Solar, miss. They missed on revenue. They missed on operating income by 11%. They are down about 6.9%. In after hours, they are reducing their CapEx and their operating income forecasts. Unfortunately, there's probably just a lot of uncertainty around solar right now in general because, like, markets are basically pricing in a Trump, which is, he's obviously a little bit more anti, how dare you say, clean energy. But I mean, if you heard him on if you want me to do a summary on the Joe Rogan pod, I'll do the summary on the Joe Rogan pod. But Trump's anti-windmills and EV mandate and all this. I think we all kind of already know that. But anyway, so take a look over here. As we approach the end of 2024, we remain pleased with the progress across our business, navigating against a backdrop of industry volatility and political uncertainty. There it is. Alberto here says, market is screaming, melt up. All right. So then you've got over here, with a continued focus on balancing growth, profitability, and liquidity, we expect our disciplined long-term approach will get us through the U.S. election. So they're basically just going to blame the election. The problem is, if these sort of like negative numbers keep coming in, I mean, look at this downside. The 3 months ending June 30th, they had over $1 billion in revenue, and now they're at under 900 million. That's a hit. Their gross profit's down like 10%. That's a hit. Their SG&A is the same. Their R&D is the same. Production startup costs down a little bit, but then they have a litigation. Well, and then they're comping against a litigation loss, so that's a benefit for them since they don't have that here. But, when we look at net income, their net income's still down like 10 to 15-ish% or whatever. So you are getting slapped in the face a little bit. They're blaming the election, but once the election comes and goes, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. So we'll see what happens here. Some people in the comments are asking, what's going to happen with Tesla? I think that is also a big irony, is that Donald Trump is so blunt about I'm going to get rid of the EV mandate, and Elon is such a proponent of Elon or of Donald Trump. But then I think the counter argument here is that Elon thinks Tesla will be the EV maker to survive, and that it'll really just hurt the Fords and the GMs and the other ones. Okay. Visa is laying off about 1,400 employees by the end of the year, 4.6% of their staff gone. This is not good, especially with that weaker JOLTS report. It just sort of reiterates again that one of the ways companies are bumping profits is just by firing people. That is unfortunate, because eventually that is going to catch up to the economy, especially in an environment where yields are rising. This is a slow growth economy. The economy's slowing. And everybody hopes we're going to have that soft landing. But, as it's slowing, they're actually adding more weight to our back with these with higher yields in markets. It's not exactly ideal. With that said, though, Visa is still forecasting an increase of high single digits to low double-digit revenue growth for this holiday season coming up. And then Cheesecake actually beat on comp sales 1.6% versus the expectation of 1.03% expected. It's pretty good. And Caesars matched expectations, but they were still down like 5%. Cheesecake's actually up like 5% though on this, by the way. They're pretty enthused. And I think that's just because they've gone nowhere over the last 3 years, so it is what it is, I guess. But some things to watch for tomorrow, and if you want, we can do, sort of another summary. I don't know if you find these useful or whatever, but if you do, let me know. But we're obviously going to get some more earnings tomorrow. We're going to get Wingstop, Caterpillar, Eli Lilly in the morning. We'll get the ADP report, GDP annualized. We'll get the advanced report, price index for GDP. Wednesday PM, we'll get Microsoft, Meta, Coinbase, Robinhood, Carvana, Etsy, Roku, Starbucks, Dash, DoorDash, Lemonade, and eBay. And then Thursday, we'll get Peloton, MasterCard, Uber, Norwegian, the Employment Cost Index report. And the PM, we'll get Amazon, Apple, Intel. Friday morning, we'll get Wayfair, Simon Property Group, Chevron, and the jobs report, which is expected to come in poopy doopy. So we'll see what happens. But so far, this is a 7% drop on AMD. I'm kind of curious to see what this is going to end up doing to markets tomorrow. I'm looking at Tesla down about 43 bips. I got the Qs almost flat, although they're pretty much at all-time highs. 500 on the Qs is really impressive. BTC dropped a bit after some of these AMD earnings, but it looks like you're already kind of on its way back to sort of recovery here. So we shall see. Anyway, that's all I got for us. If you've got questions about house hack, email us at ir@househack.com. Otherwise, thanks so much for being here, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye and good luck.